Hello, this is Mr. Wolf, and I am incredibly excited to begin reading with you Fred Korematsu Speaks Up. This is written by Laura Atkins and Stan Yogi, illustrated by Yutaka Houlette, and this is published by Hayday Books as part of the Fighting for Justice series, which also includes the incredible book Biddy Mason Speaks Up. In the description below, I have a link for where you can purchase this book as well as Biddy Mason Speaks Up, because it is always a great idea to support our authors, illustrators, and publishers, and because it is such an incredible book and well worth owning. So let's begin. There's a question, and there's a few questions they will be asking each chapter, and I always want to encourage you to answer them in the comments. So our first question, have you ever spoken up when you saw something that wasn't right? Sometimes people treat one another badly. Sometimes rules and laws are unfair. It can take one brave person or a group of people acting together to speak up and make a difference. Throughout history, people have fought for justice, even when it meant taking a stand against powerful people or working hard to make their voices heard. In the end, these people helped to make the world a fairer place. Fred Korematsu spoke up for justice. You can speak up for justice too. Chapter 1, Getting a Haircut. Fred's hair needs cutting. His friends have the snazziest styles, short and sharp, slicked down and combed back, all the rage. Up until now, Fred's mother has cut his hair, straight, simple. Fred wants to get his hair cut by a real barber. He walks into his local barber shop. The waxy smell of pomade oil mingles with the sound of snipping scissors. "Hey boy, what do you want?" the barber says. "I just want a haircut," Fred tells him. "We don't cut hair of your kind." Why? Because Fred's parents are from Japan. The barber shop won't serve people who look like Fred. Fred knows this isn't fair. He has as much right to that haircut as any of his friends. Fred walks out, past other barber shops that will not cut his hair, and restaurants that will not serve him food. He goes to Oakland's Chinatown, where people who look like Fred are welcome. He gets his hair cut, in the latest style, just like his friends. We have some definitions. I'm going to read the definitions first, and then go on from there. Japanese American, an American of Japanese ancestry. Discrimination, the act of treating a person or group unfairly because of what they look like or what they believe. Discrimination based on race is called racism. Ancestry, a person's family origin or background. Race, a group of people identified as similar to one another because of a supposed physical traits, such as skin color. Discrimination. Fred grew up in Oakland, California. When the barber refused to cut Fred's hair, he discriminated against Fred because of how he looked. He treated Fred differently from white customers because Fred wasn't white like the barber. He was Japanese American. Throughout United States history, many groups have experienced this kind of discrimination and worse. People experience discrimination because of their ancestry, because they or their parents come from another country. People of color also face discrimination because of their race. Fred faced discrimination for both of these reasons. And we have a picture of Fred in the year 1940, and a question that you can answer in the comments below. Have you ever been treated badly because of how you look or speak? And then an incredible thing this book has is a lot of primary sources, real pictures and pieces of writing from the times that we are talking about, and a timeline of description. And so this is a chapter about discrimination, so we have a timeline of discrimination in the United States. So I'm going to start by reading our vocabulary words, and then go on from there. Immigrant, someone who moves to a new country to live there permanently. Stereotype, an unfair and untrue belief about a group of people that lumps all of them together as being the same instead of unique individuals. Segregate. The practice of keeping people of different racial backgrounds, religions, or genders separate from each other. So we start with that picture. In the 1840s and 1850s, immigrants from Ireland faced discrimination from Americans in East Coast cities who considered the Irish violent and dangerous. Cartoons like this supported these stereotypes. And we have another cartoon below. This 1869 cartoon of a white man attacking a Chinese immigrant shows the anger many Americans felt toward Chinese people. In the late 1800s, many Chinese came to the western United States to mine for gold and build railroads. For more than 100 years, African Americans living in many parts of the United States could not use the same drinking fountains as white people. They could not go to the same schools, shop in the same stores, or eat in the same restaurants. Even bathrooms were segregated. This sign at a Texas business showed that Mexican and Spanish-speaking people were not welcome. Mexican immigrants and their children in southwestern states often face the same kinds of segregation as African Americans. And we have another question that you can answer in the comments below. Why do you think discrimination happens? And finally, we have a timeline of discrimination in the United States. 1865, Civil War ends. Slavery is abolished, but southern states begin passing segregation laws. 1882, the United States stops allowing Chinese laborers into the country. This was called the Chinese Exclusion Act. 1896, the United States Supreme Court decides segregation is legal. 1932, United States government begins to force Mexican immigrants and Mexican Americans to leave the country. 1943, United States allows Chinese laborers into the country. 1954, United States Supreme Court decides segregation is illegal. So this was Chapter 1 of Fred Korematsu Speaks Up. Once again, please go into the description where you can purchase a copy of your own. Thank you so much.